Nature-loving viewers, welcome to On the Sacredness of the Pledge, Part 1 of Selections from Theosophy's Sacred Teachings in the Key to Theosophy. Madame Helena Petrovna Blavatsky was born in 1831 into a noble family in Ukraine. As a child, young Helena displayed a gift for clairvoyance as well as an interest in metaphysical phenomena. Years later, she traveled throughout Europe, the Middle East, and India, studying with various teachers and Sufi saints. Following the guidance of an Indian yogi named Mahatma Maurya, Madame Blavatsky co-founded the Theosophical Society. Theosophy, meaning divine wisdom, refers to knowledge that comes through spiritual experience rather than intellectual understanding alone. The Theosophical Society is dedicated to uplifting humanity through a realization of the oneness of life and the wisdom underlying all religions. Madame Blavatsky wrote several important books on theosophy, including Isis Unveiled, The Secret Doctrine, The Key to Theosophy, and The Voice of the Silence. The Key to Theosophy unlocks the door that leads to a deeper study of theosophy. In contrast to other theosophy volumes, it is written in simple, explanatory language. Readers are thus able to more easily understand its fundamental principles. Today, on Words of Wisdom, we invite you to join us for excerpts from The Key to Theosophy. On the Sacredness of the Pledge. Enquirer, have you any ethical system that you carry out in the society? Theosophist, the ethics are there, ready and clear enough for whomsoever follow them. They are the essence and cream of the world's ethics, gathered from the teachings of all the world's great reformers. Therefore, you will find represented therein Confucius and Zoroaster, Lao Tzu and the Bhagavad Gita, the precepts of Gautama Buddha and Jesus of Nazareth, of Hillel and his school, as of Pythagoras, Socrates, Plato, and their schools. Enquirer, do the members of your society carry out these precepts? I have heard of great dissensions and quarrels among them. Theosophist, very naturally, since although the reform in its present shape may be called new, the men and women to be reformed are the same human, sinning natures as of old. As already said, the earnest working members are few, but many are the sincere and well-disposed persons who try their best to live up to the society's and their own ideals. Our duty is to encourage and assist individual fellows in self-improvement, intellectual, moral, and spiritual, not to blame or condemn those who fail. We have, strictly speaking, no right to refuse admission to anyone, especially in the esoteric section of the society, wherein he who enters is as one newly born. But if any member, his sacred pledges on his word of honor and immortal self notwithstanding, chooses to continue after that new birth, with the new man the vices or defects of his old life, and to indulge in them still in the society, then, of course, he is more than likely to be asked to resign and withdraw, or, in case of his refusal, to be expelled. We have the strictest rules for such emergencies. Enquirer, can some of them be mentioned? Theosophist, they can. To begin with, no fellow in the society, whether exoteric or esoteric, has a right to force his personal opinions upon another fellow. It is not lawful for any officer of the parent society to express in public, by word or act, any hostility to or preference for any one section, religious or philosophical, more than another. All have an equal right to have the essential features of their religious belief laid before the tribunal of an impartial world, and no officer of the society in his capacity as an officer, has the right to preach his own sectarian views and beliefs to members assembled except when the meeting consists of his co-religionists. After due warning, violation of this rule shall be punished by suspension or expulsion. This is one of the offenses in the society at large. As regards the inner section, now called the esoteric, the following rules have been laid down and adopted so far back as 1880. No fellow shall put to his selfish use any knowledge communicated to him by any member of the first section, now a higher degree, violation of the rule being punished by expulsion. Now, however, before any such knowledge can be imparted, the applicant has to bind himself by a solemn oath not to use it for selfish purposes, nor to reveal anything said except by permission. Enquirer: but is a man expelled or resigning from the section free to reveal anything he may have learned or to break any clause of the pledge he has taken? Theosophist: certainly not. His expulsion or resignation only relieves him from the obligation of obedience to the teacher and from that of taking an active part in the work of the society, but surely not from the sacred pledge of secrecy. Enquirer: but is this reasonable and just? Theosophist: most assuredly. To any man or woman with the slightest honorable feeling, a pledge of secrecy taken even on one's word of honor, much more to one's higher self, the God within, is binding till death. And though he may leave the section and the society, no man or woman of honor will think of attacking or injuring a body to which he or she has been so pledged. Enquirer: but is not this going rather far? Theosophist: perhaps so, according to the low standard of the present time and morality. But if it does not bind as far as this, what use is a pledge at all? How can anyone expect to be taught secret knowledge if he is to be at liberty to free himself from all the obligations he had taken whenever he pleases? What security, confidence, or trust would ever exist among them if pledges such as this were to have no really binding force at all? Believe me, the law of retribution, or karma, would very soon overtake one who so broke his pledge, and perhaps as soon as the contempt of every honorable man would, even on this physical plane. Path just cited on this subject, a pledge once taken is forever binding in both the moral and the occult worlds. If we break it once and are punished, that does not justify us in breaking it again, and so long as we do, so long will the mighty lever of the law of karma react upon us.
Making war? Oh, don't worry. You'll not be lost on the highway to hell, 'cause the devils will be lining up to greet you and bring you there.
Elegant viewers, thank you for your company today. For words of wisdom,